नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। The nature of Adhyasa, various kinds of cognition cannot be Adhyasa. Failing to cognize, then cognizing it within the realm of perception, we have to see the same thing second time. You have pratyabhijna, it's the same. That it is the same thing. Recognizing it is similar to that is also not Adhyasa. Recognizing this is dissimilar to that is also not. Yesterday I saw a snake, and today I see the same snake. It is the same snake. It's not pratyaya, but it is a thing there, real thing. It's not a thing. And yesterday I saw a snake, and today I saw another snake which is like it. And I recognize it's not the same thing, but it is similar. Yesterday I saw a snake, and today I see another snake which is totally dissimilar to it. That also I recognize. It's a snake, but it's similar. Variety of cognitions is not Adhyasa. We cognize so many things in so many ways. Cognition of similarity, cognition of dissimilarity, cognition of causation, cognition of the sameness, cognition of continuity, even cognition of discontinuity is not Adhyasa. Cognition, Adhyasa means cognizing something for what it is not, failing to cognize. I fail to cognize what is within the power. I fail to cognize what is within me. And I cognize it wrongly. That is not Adhyasa. भूते भुजंगबुद्धिः भुजंगस्मृतिस्तु सर्वधानाध्यासः पुरोवस्थिता भुजंग अवभासश्चैव भावात्. You know, if yesterday you saw a snake and today again you see the same snake again, it's not avabhasa, it is anubhava. If you say it is an appearance, then it is avabhasa. If there is a snake and if I see it to be snake, then it is not avabhasa, it is anubhava vishaya. We have to make a distinction. If there is a snake and if I see that there is a snake, then it is what is within it. And best we can say it is anubhava rupa. It may not be exactly Anubhava, it is Anubhava Vishayam. I am using the word Anubhava Vishaya as Anubhava. It is Anubhava. It is Anubhava. ये अवभास नहीं, अनुभव है. Supposing there is no snake, there is only rope, then I see it for snake, then it is avabhas or abhasa. The more popular term for avabhasa is abhasa. That's why here Bhashyakara uses smriti rupa. It is only in the form of a thought. Purva smriti rupa, paratra. It is always, there has to be a reality for you to make a mistake. That is paratra. In an emptiness you can't have any error. This dismisses Buddhism. Paratra. For sadhi adhyasa purva drishta. Avabhasa aapki. Not anubhava. See. So from just as from the sense organs point of view, from the perception point of view, from the jiva drishti, jagat is anubhava vishayam. From jiva drishti, jagat is anubhava vishayam. From brahma drishti, jagat is anubhava, avabhasa. Therefore, whatever is fundamentally anubhava vishayam is anubhasa. Fundamentally speaking, whatever looks as anubhava vishayam, it is abhasa. Anubhava rupam is vastu. And anubhava rupam is the one who experiences. You are all the time there as the anubhava rupam, not anubhava vishayam. You look at yourself as anubhava. You look at yourself, you look at ourselves as objects of anubhava, then it is the experiencer as well as the experienced. Then I become tied up. And therefore, he has explained very nicely what is not adhyasa. What is adhyasa? बाद में समझ लो आराम से. पहले समझ लो तो अध्यास नहीं. जो अध्यास नहीं उसी को नाध्यासः पुरोवस्थिता भुजंग अवभासस्यैव भावात् यः पुनः असत्यभि भुजंगे भुजंग अभुजंग भूतेरज्वातौ भुजंग स्वभावः भुजंगस्य अवभासरूपः प्रत्ययः सोऽध्यासः एव. That means adhyasa is only when there is no snake. There is only rope, but I see snake. That is called adhyasa. There is only asangaha. Now connect it to the ashtantam, the topic. We are by nature asharira, unembodied beings. The unembodied is visualized as embodied. The unembodied being is seen as the unembodied is seen as embodied. The unembodied is seen as like the rope is seen as name. Asharira is seen as asharira. Even if someone says the object is seen as the body, the object which is not the body is seen as the body. कोई फर्क नहीं. But if you become very sophisticated about it, Asharira is taken for Asharira. The conscious being which is ever free from embodiment, which is by nature free from embodiment. which is by nature free from being the body, which is by nature free from embodiment. Is seen? That's all. Now understand the Drishtanta one? Last one. The rope that is by nature free from being snake. The rope that is by nature free from being snake. The rope that is free from, that is by nature free from being a snake. The rope that is by nature free from being snake is seen as snake. Similarly, a sharira atma, which is by nature free from being embodied, is seen as embodied. That is life. Life is embodiment. Sense of embodiment is life. What else? It doesn't sense of embodiment is life. To look embodied is life. यह पुनः सत्य विभुजंगे भुजंग भूते रज्ज्वादौ भुजंगस्य विभासरूपः प्रत्ययः सोऽध्यासः एव तादृश प्रत्ययस्य स्मृतिरूपत्वात्. Now at the end he concludes, see, look at adhyasa and it fulfills the definition of adhyasa completely. How? Tadrisha pratyayasya, an error. Rupatvat, and it is only in the form of a thought without there being a thing. Smriti Rupatvat. And if it is a Drishtanta, Purva Drishta Avabhasatvat cha. And also it is something that is seen before. It is Araha. I will sum it up. In Anadi Adhyasa, it is only Smriti Rupaha. Purva Drishta doesn't apply to Anadi Adhyasa. It is Smriti Rupaha and Avabhasaha. It is Smriti Rupaha and Avabhasaha. If it is only Smriti Rupaha, why do you have to bring in Avabhasaha? Even though it is Pratyaya Rupaha, it looks the Anubhava Vishaya. You understand? Even though it is a pratyaya, it looks like a anubhava, it looks like a thing. Looking like a thing is what is called avabhasaha. Looking like a thing. If it is a thing, it is anubhava vishayaha. If it is a thing, then it is anubhava vishayaha. If it is not a thing, if it is only a pratyaya and looks like a thing, then it is avabhasa. So two adjectives I have explained. Dehoham is smriti rupaha and it is avabhasaha. Paratra is automatically there, the truth. Because what is mistaken is the paratra. That mistake is smriti rupaha. That mistake is avabhasaha. That mistake is smriti rupaha. That mistake is avabhasaha. But what is mistaken? Paratra. Are you able to follow? There is only something, a reality that is mistaken, and there is a mistake. Mistake is not between two things. To begin with, we say there are two things, but they are not. The second thing is only a mistake. What looks a second thing is a mistake about the one. And the second is only a mistake about the first. You see? If you go on reflecting upon this great phenomenon called self-error and the self, ultimately understand there are no two things. There is only one which is mistaken, and there is a mistake which looks like avabhasa. That's another second thing. The mistake about the one looks like the second to the one. The mistake about the one looks like second to the one. Okay, again. The mistake about the one looks like the second to the one. The mistake about the one, if it looks like the second to the one, is called avabhasa. And it is only a mistake, means a thought, then it is smriti rupaha. And what is mistaken? Paratra. And in sadhya adhyasa, these three plus purvatrishta. The entire definition of anadi adhyasa and the definition of adhyasa. If you are clear, Aska. Generally very happy. It's very definition. Clear. Can keep you happy. Explain all the without making, without तो कभी नहीं होगा. वो विदाउट तो इस जन्म का नहीं होगा. वो तो गड़बड़ तो चलता ही रहता है. But Brahma Vidya makes you happy despite it. To handle Chanchalata means, my God. Very, very important. Resolve and dedication. समझदारी होना चाहिए. Now, coming back to the point, it is not a confusion between two things, it is a confusion about the one. That very confusion looks, yes. The very confusion about the non-dual looks second to the non-dual, but when it looks second to the non-dual, it doesn't look. Then I look like dual. Even though the subject is non-dual. But a mistake about myself looks second to me. As second to me I get limited, divided. Then I become second to the world and the world becomes second to me. Then my being the first is gone. Not only the first, the only one is gone. It's not gone, but at least it is not recognized. It cannot go. I have explained away a lot of this definition of adhyasa, anadi adhyasa and sadhi adhyasa ke upar we have dwelt. What is anadi adhyasa? Smritupa, paratra, avabhasa. But only three words. Purvadrishta, out. Sadhi adhyasa, smriti rupaha, paratra, purvadrishta, avabhasa. For sadhi adhyasa, 4 words. For anadi adhyasa, 3 words. A mistake about a reality that looks apart. A mistake about a fact. A mistake about a reality, which mistake itself doesn't look like a mistake, it looks a fact, a reality. Amazing. And every error has to look a reality. It doesn't look real, false. Then it can't exist anyway. Yes. Now Bhagavan says, don't get scared of various Paryaya Shabdas. Paryaya Shabdas means innocent. Don't allow yourself to be scared of new words. When you are that, all words are meant to unfold your truth, so why should you be scared of words? Words are meant for you, not you are meant for words. Try to create it. We are not. Truth is not meant for individuality, meant for the truth in its state of. And the truth as truth, nothing is meant for anything because it alone is. It alone is. This idea of something is meant for something else. This idea is all within Adhyatma. Because you are imagining a relation. Therefore, the creation is meant for the truth in its state of. Everything is meant for. How? Enjoy the day. Enjoy the day. Even if you go to bed very late till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, keep awake. Enjoy even the darkness. Don't dwell on the society, dwell on your being. Dwell on the society. I cannot be. Aware of your conscious presence of all the three states. Conscious of all the three states. So we have to get used to dwelling on the subject's presence rather than the details of the object. So to take janam lagenge, to shift attention from the object to the presence of the subject. It looks so simple, it's only just shift your attention from the object, but right? It is so easy to shift from the object to the subject by converting the subject also into the object. Yes. But without converting the subject into the object of an individual trying. In fact, एक 2 सेकंड के लिए नहीं होता, immediately. किचन से थोड़ा दूर बैठना ध्यान के लिए, किचन से नजदीक हो तो मन तो वहीं पर जाती बात है। What I am telling is, you will have done great service to yourself. You can just be aware of your presence. Unquestionable. Don't dwell on the light. Dwell on. I don't mind using the word. Dwell on the fact that you are aware. Don't dwell on darkness. Dwell on the fact that you are. Don't dwell on pleasure. Dwell on the fact. Even memory is being forgotten. Reduce memories to your being. Reduce memories. Reduce memories to your being aware. That's the only one topic. Swamiji, presence to hamesha hai. Yes. Cognizing your unnegatable presence is the whole. And then when the presence becomes very well recognized, my presence Nothing can replace my presence. It's talking about your consciousness. Well, along with that, you also see that this total similarity between your presence and the qualities of the object. When you become electro-linked, then conscious presence of the subject never exists related to something. For example, if you try to never exists related to this. Or comprehensive of it. One may think it is other, falls within the realm of this is a horse, this is a cow is all right. Two sounds can be discerned. Two sounds can be separated. They are exclusive of each other. But sound and silence are not. They are only dissimilar. Even the sound is not exclusive of silence. Sound is made of silence, whereas silence is inclusive of subject is inclusive of creation. The entire creation can capture the sense of this creation. The entire creation ingests the subject. Entire creation money, use it to look after yourself. Money used for the life is used to death. You don't have to use money behind it. Definitely not do anything for anybody. After yourself. Use money for your comfort and use comfort to yes. Therefore here he says, don't get scared of this. Don't get scared of words. Adhyasaha, great word, adhyasaha. Adhyaropaha. स्वामी जी अध्यास तो समझ गए, अध्यारोप क्या होता है? इससे ना Do you know what is adhi-asaha? Throwing something on something. Adhi-aropaha. Imposing something on something. आरोप लगाना. ये सर्प है, ये आरोप लगा रहे हैं हम. Deliberately नहीं, अज्ञान में. Supposing you deliberately accuse somebody, that is called आरोप. ये तो बड़ा खराब है. Actually is अच्छे हैं. Is very nice. But then you say, it's bada kharab. What are you doing? Arop. Deliberately. Deliberately arop karna. That means what? You don't see a person as he is. You see him differently. Erroneous thinking. Mithya jnana, erroneous understanding. Mithya buddhi, erroneous thinking. Pratyaya. It also not. Mithya pratyaya, erroneous. I can also say erroneous cognition. Mithya pratyaya, erroneous thought. And don't try to see the difference between the one and the other. They're all the same. जल और पानी में फर्क देखना मत, फर्क नहीं देखना, वो टाइम वेस्ट। कहते हैं considering that man is very difficult consideration, considering that man is going to live for 100 years, 50 years is gone in sleep. I'll bring that verse for you. Out of 50 years, you see, half of it is gone in the childhood. 50 years are gone, 25 years is gone. Then only लड़ाई झगड़ों में आधा चले गया, खाना पीना में चले गया. Then you are left with nothing. Where is the time to waste? There is no time to waste, even when you are at the gates of moksha. Even for the most efficient user of time, there is no time to waste. Even if you are close to the goal, there is no time to waste. You take up Vedanta when you are still in your 20s, there is no time to waste, because God has not given extra time. There is no extra time. You know, I'll tell you the truth. When you are not interested in Vedanta, time hangs. When you are interested in Vedanta, time flies. Then you feel that there is no time. You are short of time. When truth becomes the topic, time is short. I have to use it to understand. The person is bored, time and person is so time flies. देखो, मिथ्या प्रत्ययः, मिथ्या अभिमानः. This is also very beautiful. Mithyaabhimana means, a false abhimana. Abhimana I am going to dwell on. There are societal abhimana. Abhimana means, supposing you are a rich man, then you have a certain abhimana. So what is called a self-respect. A false self-respect. It is not even self-respect. I think it is ego. Mithya abhimana is ego. Kind of a Khandani image. A false image about oneself. A false image about oneself. I am from a royal family. That is what? False Mithyabhimana. I am an American. Mithyabhimana. I am a Brahmana. Mithyabhimana. Oh, I come from Oxford. Mithyabhimana. Any image that you gloat on, any image about oneself that one gloats on is general. Society throws up the right errors of Mithyabhimana. And even if some philosopher, if a sage comes or a Swami comes and talks about Mithyabhimana, they will always be these Mithyabhimanas. But here Mithyabhimana is a false image about oneself, the truth. One happens to be the unlimited, and the image that one has about oneself, the Anami image is, I am limited, is what is called Mithyabhimana. So you have Mithyabhimana in the society born Mithyabhimana. I don't know how to put it. Jiva develops Mityabhimana, time-bound Mityabhimana, Sadi Mityabhimana. Sadi Mityabhimana. And I am the Jiva is Anadi Mityabhimana. So if somebody gives a talk about Mityabhimana, which Mityabhimana will the audience take? Sadi Mityabhimana. We can only know this Mityabhimana, caste ke baare mein, creed ke baare mein. In fact, this caste and creed has helped many talkers. Many people became successful just by dismissing poor caste and creed. It must be really repenting. Why did I at all take place here? The so-called deconditioning is only deconditioning oneself of the Sadi. Anadi Mityabhimanam. Only Shabda. Big thing. I can convey this. Even the greatest of philosophers only deconditioned the man of Sadi Mityabhimanam. We should get out of all these labels like caste and creed and nationality and borders. These borders must disappear. Oh, it became such a popular theory a few years ago that there should be only one world. These borders should disappear. You can live anywhere in the world. Yes, it became just 20 years ago. That was very, very current at that time. That thought. One world, one humanity. Say, this world's problem is not. All right, we can have one world, one humanity, but how many gods? Our captain. We say one God. Whose God will be that God? Is it a Christian God or a Muslim God or a Jiva can never be receptive to sanity, I am telling you. He would never, because वो अपनी खानदानी business है जी to create problems for himself. Because in ignorance, it is a contradiction to be receptive to sanity. लड़ना है. He is always devising. He is always disturbing. He disturbs others, he disturbs himself. It's not possible. You see, there are certain things which are not possible because they are contrary to the situation of ignorance. Unless there is exposure to the truth, it's not possible. Without exposure to the truth, you can't undertake things which conform to the truth. Therefore, maybe for a little while you can decondition man of all Sadi Mityabhiman, but you can't decondition man of Anadi Mityabhiman, independent of Vedanta. Where the Vedanta comes up with a beautiful prakrya, it all appears in the truth and disappears in the truth. Therefore, the truth doesn't undergo any change, and that truth thou art. This is something, the path to the truth, conveys the truth which transcends the path. Understand? The path to the truth conveys the truth that transcends the path. The prakriyas adopted in Vedanta convey the tatparyam, which tatparyam transcends all the prakriyas. Which philosopher is going to talk about these things? And the most wanting thing about these philosophers is that if you say what is so deep, nothing, why do you want to think about it? waking because we are living. We don't have to think about the dream because that's just relaxing. Sleep is relaxing. This is life. And you trust the philosophers. As if freedom from everything is a lesser anubhava than the anubhava of freedom. Is thought a greater anubhava than freedom from it? We are not making any comparison. We are not saying thought is a lesser anubhava than the freedom from it. In fact, anubhava is anubhava. Both are valid. You have to look at both. The anubhava of embodiment and the anubhava of freedom from the body, I will say, is not a lesser anubhava. You know, Ashigara says, whoever thinks that Sushupti is a lesser anubhava should be denied of sleep for a few. He says that. कुछ दिल के लिए. Why do you say that? Anubhava is different. In the waking state you think this alone is valid. In the dream you think that alone is valid. That's a different matter. But here you can look at all the three in the waking. Objectively. You can rise above this objective thinking and become a thinking person and say, whether I need it or not, it is there. I must know what it is. Whether I use dream objects in the waking or not, that's immaterial. Whether I use the waking objects in the dream or not, that's immaterial. But it is anubhava vishayam, anubhava vishayam, anubhava vishayam. That is, the anubhava has to be thought about. Not what is useful alone we think about. That's all called material philosophers. Utilitarian philosophers. In other words, do you want another phrase for it? Sarkari sadhu. You understand? Sarkari philosopher. Sarkari philosopher. A paid philosopher. Not an Indian sadhu. Indian sadhu would say what he is must be understood. Okay, ji, mithya abhiman. I have explained mithya abhiman. Therefore, even if one is very humble, free from all mithya abhimana, it doesn't mean that is moksha, and that becomes only very conducive for getting rid of sadi mithya abhimana helps you to get rid of anadi mithya abhimana. I think I am happy to say that. Getting rid of sadi mithyabhimana helps you a great deal in negating. Actually, that is called sannyasa. Freedom from sadi mithyabhimana is sannyasa, which is a sadhanam for getting out of anadi mithyabhimana. And therefore, there is a particular tradition called, there are some people who don't believe in caste and creed, वगैरह, हम तो सब समान है. It is called freedom from a kind of sadi mithyabhimana. Is it the end? हम तो ये सब वो ऊंच नीच सब हम नहीं मानते हैं. जाति नीति जात पात हम नहीं मानते हैं. हम जेंडर भेद को भी नहीं मानते हैं. हम तो बस एक ही ह्यूमैनिटी को मानते हैं. सबके अंदर भगवान है मानते हैं. ठीक है? Is it a big unfoldment? Right, so far so good. ठीक है, better than others. But even that also really, sadi mithyabhimana cannot go forever unless we become a student of the negate the truth for negating the anadi mithyabhimana. without taking up the effort to negate the Anadi Mityabhimana, meaning without becoming a student of the truth. This Adi Mityabhimana is always lucky. Yes, it's not possible. One label is always replaced by other labels. That is why, when without Vedanta, whether you worship Bhagavan in form or without form, even that without form, that is also a kind of a form. Without being exposed to the truth, no label can be negated. Every label will be replaced by another label, maybe a subtler label. Krishnamurti said, I have no followers. And the people go, because we are Krishnamurti's followers. You understand, Krishnamurti, they didn't want to have an institution. Then they have got enough of them, they say, it is a Krishnamurti foundation which tells you that Krishnamurti has no foundation. Who doesn't understand all this? I figured out these headaches really even before I left Shivananda. These are all just meaningless. You have to get into Pramana. Simply by saying, therefore, Mithyabhimanam, maybe common sense can help you to get over a few very, very, very nonsensical labels. Are very, 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 very nasty labels. But certain labels which have come in time, you have developed. The labels which have put in your mind can be overcome through common sense. But the labels that have grown up with you, the labels that have grown up with you, like man, woman, these are all grown up with you. The label that I am young and old, the labels that have grown up with you, like I am rich and poor, etc. Certain labels really cannot be eliminated through common sense, mere reason. And which labels can be overcome through mere reasoning and common sense without Vedanta? Those nastiest labels. There are certain nastiest labels. He is an untouchable. He is a nasty label. Very nasty. Women deserve no spirituality, nasty. A widow should not marry, nasty. Why a widow? If a widower can marry, a widow also can marry. Kya ho gaya? No. Sati should be from both sides, is it not? Why only when the husband dies, the wife also goes with him. When the wife goes, supposing to begin with, the husband also is going. These are all what? Nasty prejudices. I don't think it's all endorsed by Veda. If it is proved that Veda has endorsed, I don't accept it, even if there is a mention in Veda, I would disown it. I would say it's an interpolation. Even God doesn't like nasty things. Even God doesn't like nasty things. We say the Brahmanas are born of the head and the Kshatriyas are born of his bhujas, Purusha Sukta means. Does Bhagavan have a body? Bhagavan is just one acre of. It simply means any individual who thinks is a Brahman. His ambition for power is a Kshatriya. And the Uru, the one who is interested in sense pleasures and wealth, is a Vaishya. The one who is interested in just simple service and survival is called a Shudra. It doesn't mean One is above the other. They're all the creation of same God. Therefore, even if there is a mention in Veda, supposing somebody says, no, here is the mention. I say, even if it is mentioned, what is obviously nasty cannot be accepted. I would still say it is an interpolation. What is that scripture which doesn't enjoy interpolation? If there can be see, last few years ago, there was an Upanishad written by Rajaji, Rajagopalacharya, Ramakrishna Upanishad. And do you think that whatever he wrote was free from bias? Was Rajaji, did he have God's objective? There is no, even Mahatma Gandhi writes an Upanishad, I would never touch it. And for the first 20 years, you remember the author, and after another 102 years, it will become one of the Dashopanishads. Ekadashopanishad. You understand, Ramakrishna Upanishad. And after another 1,000 years, it will be Upanishad, ancient. Just as we are doing Kaivalya Upanishad. That's why, just because it is in Sanskrit and it is called Upanishad, it doesn't mean. Because even if it is taught, you have to be clear about the Tathparyam of the entire program. You can edit and talk about it. When you teach Viveka Chudamani, you have to edit it. A teacher has the right to straighten up. Why not? If he can't straighten up a statement, then he has no right to teach. He should be able to straighten up. Therefore, the nastiest labels of this world can be overcome through common sense and reasoning. But without Brahma Vidya, you cannot overcome those labels which have grown with us. Even if you say they are false, you only believe them to be untrue, not know them to be untrue. In order to know every label untrue, you have to have exposure to them. Clear? I will complete the paragraph. Mityabhimanaha anyatha grahanam. Another word for the error is anyatha grahanam. It's a very technical term. It's a very self-explanatory word. Anyatha grahanam. Perceiving something differently. Anyatha grahanam. Viparita jnanam. Viparita means, I will translate it. A disastrous perception. बड़ा विपरीत हो गया. विपरीत हो गया. विपरीत हो गया मतलब अनर्थ हो गया. That is called a disastrous perception. Viparita jnana. A very distorted perception. Iti paryayaha. All these words, don't get scared of them. They're all synonyms. Evam jadhyasasya bhrantittvena lokasiddhatvat bhrantescha atatha bhute tata jnanatvena sarvasammatatvat idameva lakshanam prakritadhyasasya piti. And therefore, everybody should understand, there is only one definition of adhyasa, and that is a distorted perception of the reality, and don't come under the influence of various other things. It's like you say, बुद्धि से जो है नहीं उसको देखना. Where is paratra? Where is paratra? Paratra matlab where is the reality? Mere association is not adhyasa. Why? Because wherever there is association, both the things are equally real. It is not mithya pratyaya. Sarvasammatatvat. All thinking people can understand, can agree with the definition of adhyasa. There should be a reality and should be missed. It should be smriti rupaha. It should be avabhasaha. There should be paratra. These three are common to both Anadi and Sadi. That Purva Drishta is not. a very important thing. That is only for Sadhyadhyasa. Smriti-rupaha purvadrishta-upasaha iti tu sadhyadhyasa-lakshana-spashtikarana-arthameva iti natasya adhyasa-lakshana-sharire pravesha iti na-prasmartavya. Very beautiful conclusion. Don't insert purvadrishta into the definition of it. Because we are not interested in analyzing sadhyadhyasas, we are interested in understanding the reality of anadhyadhyasa. So the topic here is anadhyadhyasa. Therefore, what should remain in your mind is the definition of anadhyadhyasa and purvadrishtatvam, keep it aside. That is only for sadhi. And actually the adhyasa that is under discussion doesn't include purvadrishta. Only smriti rupaha paratra avabhasaha. Bas. Smriti rupaha paratra avabhasaha. Purvadrishta, don't allow it to include, don't allow it to enter the definition. Na pravesha iti prasmartavyam. Should always remember that it should not have any pravesha. Clear? Swamiji, we have been only doing the definition of adhyasa. I say, in understanding the definition of adhyasa, you understand the nature of the truth. That paratra is none other than oneself. My view of myself is avabhasa. My view of myself is smriti rupaha. And myself, paratra. The subject is paratra. Om Purnamadaha Purnamivam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Then we have stopping. If you patiently hear, you will always get prasadam. The only realm in which patience pays most, as I told you,